Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live night. I'm just making sure we are all good here. I think we are. I forgot to turn my lights on back there, so sorry it's kind of dark. I started on time, actually. I was aiming to start early, but started on time. So welcome. If you are watching this replay and you hear my husband mowing the lawn, he's going to get quieter in a second. He's like almost done or moving away from me. So that's going to hopefully be quieter in a second. But if you want to see what I'm going to be live next, check my events page. Check my schedule on my website. It's always going to let you know when I'm going to go live next. I do have some updates on live nights that I'm going to talk about here in a second. But just a reminder, we have more lives over on Patreon. So we do a member-only live night. So it's basically whoever's a Patreon member, you get access to your own exclusive live night. It's private. Everyone basically gets a reading because it's small, it's intimate, and everyone doesn't always show up every night. So it allows me to thoroughly read a lot more of you. We also have other perks over there. We also have the Psychic Development Practice Night. If you want to practice reading other people in person, we do have that. You also get early access to my videos. You get Q&A videos every single month. So you ask me questions, I answer. And you also get monthly pick a card readings. So I just put up the readings for June of what the energy is going to look like in June. It's going to look awesome, by the way. Everyone's really happy with that reading. And basically, you're paying to get extra content from me to help support me and help support me on my channel, doing what I do, so that I can keep creating more free videos here on YouTube. So some upcoming dates, if you are not subscribed to my newsletter, which I do remind you at the top of the month, Psychic Development Practice Night is a week from tonight. That is going to be the 13th. And then our next member live night is going to be the 27th. So, yes, welcome. If you're new, feel free to subscribe. I am going to set my member timer every single night. I put up a timer, which I'm doing now. And when this timer goes off, whoever is a member, a YouTube member that comments closest to it, basically they get a reading. So I'm just going to start that now. And when you hear my alarm go off, that's going to be what that is. But yeah, just a few announcements before we get into the group reading, and then we'll jump into individual readings. My course is up. I am finally done with the Psychic Development Masterclass course. If you are a current Udemy student, if you've purchased some of my other courses, or if you are a Patreon member, you should have a $30 off discount. And that is going to be up for about another month. So just remember, if you are part of those groups, get that coupon while you can before it goes back to just the normal price that it is for everyone else. If you want that coupon, you can sign up on Patreon at any time and get that coupon, just saying. And yeah, it's live. I'm very excited about it. I basically put it up, and then I had to go on a trip to go see my brother-in-law get married. And so it was kind of this nice little, I don't want to call it quite a vacation, but it was kind of like a vacation right after all that hard work. And now I'm back to readings, back to videos. And now that I'm not simultaneously making a course and making YouTube videos, all my time and energy can go back into YouTube videos, which I'm so excited for. And then my second announcement is kind of a bummer, I'm going to have to say. But that is that I am not going to be doing live nights anymore in a reoccurring way. So right now I have it set up for the first Tuesday of every month. I think I go live. I'm not going to be setting it up as a habitual once a month thing anymore. Lots of reasons for this. I'm going to go into it, but basically what you need to know is I'm just going to schedule it when I feel like scheduling it. So that might be a couple times a month. It might be no times at all during the month. I've just found that having the schedule for these, some nights I'm just really not like able to do this, and I don't feel like my energy is here. I don't feel like I'm doing the best readings. These videos also are kind of not very good for my channel anymore. It's one of those that I need to be doing it like weekly or like not at all, unfortunately. So from an analytics perspective, it's just kind of not working out anymore. And I just want to be real with you all tonight and just tell you the honest truth. And it's not like adding. I'm not getting more views. I'm not getting like, people seeing it. It's also like not bringing in any like sort of money. So it's kind of just not making sense. And it's been one of those that like I've been feeling for a very long time that it just kind of needs to go, because I don't want to say I'm not enjoying it, because I really enjoy hanging out with all of you, but I don't enjoy like this style of reading so much. I think they're a little too short. I don't think that I'm the best at doing the short readings. And I don't know. We just don't get a lot of people in here very much at one time. And it's just, I'm trying to be a little bit more efficient with my time, especially now that I'm having some bigger life changes coming up and I need to kind of like adjust and be more efficient. And really, I just want to pivot into making more YouTube videos, having more time to create more of that stuff with you. And then when I feel excited, when I feel ready to come on and do these lives, I get on and actually do it. So sometimes you might get notice of those. Sometimes you might just I might just pop on live and it might be a surprise. I'll always try to give you a warning on Instagram, so try to follow me there. If I have enough like heads notice, I will put it up on my website. So yeah, I know it's kind of a bummer and I'm sorry, but just know again that if you're on Patreon, you will still get all of the live nights over there. Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to say about that? Yeah, I think that's it. So I know it's kind of a bummer. They're not going away completely. It's more just that I want to schedule it when I actually like feel good, feel ready to do it. And so that might just be like in the middle of the day sometimes. So yeah, that's the changes. We're still going to do this tonight. Really excited to talk about the theme of tonight, which is how are we manifesting abundance right now? Because we don't have very many like astrological things going on right now. Like we just had the full moon. I know June just started, but I've done separate videos on that through Patreon. But I have just been feeling, and you guys tell me too, that like big manifestations are about to come in. I just like feel this so strongly. And so I just asked Spirit tonight, I said, what should we talk about? And I pulled the 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups to me is like long-term legacy, like family, feeling complete, feeling whole emotionally. So it's not that you're necessarily manifesting like a spouse and kids and a house and pets and a white picket fence. It's for you, it's those long-term emotional goals that you want to achieve. And that's what we're talking about tonight. That is what's coming up. And think about what has been on your mind lately of what you want to be, what you've wanted to manifest. Maybe it is a house, maybe it is a partner, kids, something like that. Like that is what we're talking about tonight. It's not the minute little things like, oh, having problems with my boss. Like we're being very called right now to look at the bigger picture. Like where do you want to be in 10, 20 years? That has been very reflected in this last full moon, because we had the full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all like bigger picture thinking. What are your plans? So that's what you guys want to talk about tonight. And I'll do this group reading and then we will jump into individual readings. And I'll probably do like 4 or 5 tonight, just as a heads up. But sorry, I've been ignoring chat. Hello, Lucinda. Hello, Silly Rabbit. Hello, Denise. Hey, Adrian. And Chella Bolela. I love that name. I'm posting rabbits for abundance. Yes. It is the year of the rabbit. We every year go to the Lunar New Year festival here in Colorado, and I bought myself a little rabbit charm for this year as well. Hello, Mike. Hello, Denise. Hi, Heidi. Okay, so I am going to jump into this group reading really quick, and then we will get into reading. So, hello everyone, seeing a lot of Patreon folks, Janine and Gianna. Okay, so when it comes to this, our guys want to talk about those long-term goals, those long-term wishes, the house that you want, the family that you want, the overall feeling that you want when it comes to like the things that you want to manifest long term. I asked our guys what we needed to know and what we needed to be doing more importantly. And so I pulled 3 cards. One, I have take inspired action, make time for self-love, and reveal what needs to be seen. So I'm going to start with this take inspired action card. I kind of feel like all of the cards are like the perfect recipe for manifesting, because when we manifest something, we have to take action. We don't just sit around and wait for it to happen. We have to kind of show the universe we're serious, that we want something. Like very basic example, you want a car, you want to show the universe you're serious. Go to the car lot and just look around. You know, you don't have to buy anything, obviously, but you're pushing yourself in a direction of like, I'm serious. I'm going to go check something out and like put myself in a position where, you know, I'm being more serious about this. Same thing of like, I want to buy a house. Okay, I'm going to go look around at some houses. I'm going to go tour some, even if like they're not the house that you want. Love it. Okay. I've been feeling this energy so much. So, and I forgot to clean up around my nails so they look bad. So take inspired action. I pulled a clarification card for each one of these, and I haven't looked at these, but this one said miracles. Have faith that your miracle's on its way. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender the how. So again, such an important part of manifesting. Like you can take inspired action, but you don't have to worry about how it's going to happen. You can just say, this is the thing I want. This is the intention I'm feeling when it comes to my future, and I'm just going to trust that the universe heard me. I'm going to trust that my miracle is on its way. This to me says that your guides are listening, your guides are hearing you. They're reminding me right now clairaudiently, and I don't know too much about the astrology of this, but I'm hearing that it's important of like, I don't know what planet is in what planet, but something in Taurus. Something is in Taurus for the next like year, which basically means lots of money. I can't, what is it? Yeah, I can't remember. I get a lot of my astrology content from Chloe Taylor because she knows a lot better than me. And if you're really, really curious, I know that her full moon video, pick a card video that she just did, has more information on this. I just can't remember right now. But I am just hearing like, we are just in a time where our manifestations are coming through a lot easier, and it's going to feel like a miracle. It's going to feel like it's falling into your lap. If you have a story of this, please share. Like I will give just a little mini story of this. I have been in this house for 13 years. Oh my gosh, kind of more like 12. And when I first moved here, I really, really wanted to move out, and I was like, I wanted a big mansion. And through the many, many years I've been here and not been able to move, I've learned to love this place so much now that I don't want to leave. And basically over the last week, I had an opportunity fall into my lap of possibly getting a new home that basically requires nothing of me, just like a family member wanting to help us out and basically allowing us to move into another house that is possibly like bigger, better, and kind of the same price that we're already paying. Something that I would not have been able to get on like my own or with like the finances that we have now. And again, trying to show you guys like the miracle of this. Like this was not on the table, not in the cards 2 weeks ago. And now all of a sudden it like fell into my lap. And it's because I've taken inspired action towards that goal, which I haven't shared, but like I've been doing a lot of work around trying to manifest like our next home. And I didn't know how it was going to happen. And I wasn't trying to nitpick and be like, oh, I need to move to this area, this house, this whatever. No, something fell into my lap and it was something I would have never thought of, something that like never once crossed my mind because I wasn't controlling the how. I was just letting myself be open to whatever was coming through, if that makes sense. So, sending that positive juju your way as well. Other advice for manifesting this 10 of cups energy, time or make time for self-love. This is so important, and this is something I did not understand for the longest time, of like, you have to fill up your own cup before you manifest anything that you want to manifest, because if you're not giving to yourself the needs that you need, you are not able to show up and kind of go through life efficiently. You'll always be depleted, if that makes sense. And like the best analogy that I can think of is, if you have a half full cup and you're trying to fill someone else's cup up, maybe say it's your relationship or your job, and your cup is only half full, and you give all of that cup to somebody else, your cup is empty. So it's so important that your cup is not only just full before you give to others or give away your time and energy, but it's overflowing. That's where it really needs to be before you can give other energy, any energy in your life, your time. And so I truly think that this is like such an underrated and under talked about thing. Self-love, making time for self-care. And that's really not just like, oh, having a glass of wine. It's like doing the hard work. It's also about giving yourself the things that you need. Maybe you need regular exercise. Maybe you need like a solid sleep schedule. Maybe you need good food in your belly, so that you are energized. Whatever it is that you need, maybe it's time away from your family, from your kids. You need those things for your cup to be filled. And your cup being filled is an important piece before you get here. And so let's figure out why. And so the clarifier card that I have for this is rebirth. Reinvent yourself, give life to your dreams, create a new reality. So to me, I'm hearing that a lot of this is self-limiting beliefs. We feel like we can't have this 10 of cups energy. And so we really need to start from the ground up with our self-care. We need to rebirth our self-care. We need to reinvent what we do and what we look like. And I will say, if you already have an idea of what this is and you're already practicing it, don't take this as like, oh gosh, I have to start over from scratch. I don't think that's what I'm getting. It's more for the folks who have put in no self-love, no self-care into their lives. But if you already have a sense of this might be a message of like, keep doing this. Because I feel like if you don't have a self-love or a self-care routine in your life right now, it's going to be very, very hard to get to this. And right now, your guys are asking you to really, really look at your self-care routine and ask yourself, how can I fill up my cup? And the thing about this is it looks different for everybody. It really does. Some people need exercise. Some people need a walk in the park. Some people need alone time. Some people need to recharge by being with friends or family. It's going to look different for every one of us. But this is such a huge part. The fact that the rebirth card is coming up, this to me says there's a lot of work that needs to be done around it before we can manifest. Or I shouldn't say before we can manifest, but like it's going to be such a huge component. Okay. And then the last card for our group reading is reveal what needs to be seen. And I asked, what do we need to reveal? And I got patience. Pause before you take action. Trust that divine timing is at work. Be patient and play while you wait. Very similar to the miracles card of like letting go of the how. So this to me says that some of us are very impatient. We want these things. We want the house. We want the spouse. We want the family, more money, whatever it is. But we have to understand that it'll come to us when it should. And the patience card, I feel like it's more drawing attention to the fact of like, if you are so desperate, that's kind of when you get into manic manifesting, where you're just like sabotaging your every effort. Like I used to have a friend, this is coming through as like an example, that she just wanted things. She wanted literally the next house. She wanted to live in the next place. She was never happy with where she was. And instead of like getting grounded, enjoying where she was at in the moment, she was constantly like house hopping and kind of sabotaging her efforts. Like at one point, she bought a home, and she could have used that as like leverage to get into another home or to like sell it and use the money to kind of like upgrade or even rent it out, for example. But instead, she kind of like sold it and then wasted all the money on like trips, and then she had nothing again. She was back to like square one, if that makes sense. All because she was impatient and she couldn't understand how to live in the present and really just like enjoy where she was at while she waited for things to manifest. I'm not friends with this person anymore, which is why I'm like kind of talking about them like this, is because I could see it happening. And it's like if she just stuck it out or stuck through it. I have several other friends that were kind of like this. I used to have a friend in film school who he would get started on projects, get started on like a business idea, and he would do really well. But because he didn't see overnight success, he assumed it was a failure. And so then he would ditch the idea completely and start a completely new business and waste all this time redesigning a logo, redesigning his page, redesigning his marketing. And then he was back at square one again. Like that's what this feels like, all because of impatience. I don't know why this is coming through so strongly. They're telling me another example. This must just be a lot of us right now. Another example, me with my YouTube channel. I started this YouTube channel in 2017. I would say in comparison to some other YouTube channels, I'm a pretty like slow grower. And I could have given up at any time. I could have said, this isn't happening. This isn't working. I'm done. But I just kept showing up and I kept uploading videos every single week. I kept showing up for these lives. And now my channel is where it's at, which isn't honestly that big, but it's at a point now that I am like paid full time to do this work, which is all I really truly want. I don't need a million bajillion subscribers or anything like that. To me, it's just I want to do this work full time and be able to like pay my bills. That's all I'm happy about. And so, yeah, patience, because it's not going to be an overnight process. This dream, this 10 of Cups dream, that's not something that you build overnight. That takes a couple years, a lot of years. It might take decades. So patience is so important. And so in regards to reveal what needs to be seen, I'm kind of hearing like we need to reveal the emotions of impatience. We need to reveal like where are we feeling like we want to give up, and how can we find ways to find peace in this moment. Going back to like my house example, like I could have been so impatient and made us move, but instead I said, okay, how can I make my house a better place to live so that I can enjoy it more and be happy in this moment? And the answer to that was different at different times. Maybe it was, well, I'm going to renovate, or I'm going to get some new furniture, or I'm going to get out of the house more. You know, it's different. But to me, reveal what needs to be seen is dive into the emotions that you're avoiding, the emotions that are bringing about this impatience, and see if there's a way that you can work with them instead of running away from them, if that makes sense. And that is also going to be a huge part of manifesting this legacy that we want to manifest. Okay, wow, that was just like vomit of information. I did not plan on doing it that long, but I felt like your guys really wanted me to share that. Okay. So that was our group reading. We will get into individual readings next. I got a rabbit statue. Nice. Manifesting a future pet rabbit. That's an awesome story. I told like 5 million, but thank you. Hello, welcome everyone. Okay, so we just did a group reading. That reading is for anyone that comes across this stream. But now we're going to jump into individual readings. Again, I'm probably only going to do like 4 or 5 tonight. And then we will call it a night. So we can do donations. So if you send a donation, you can automatically get onto that list. Otherwise, we will do guessing games, and whoever guesses the guessing games right will get a reading. So hello, Eureka. I know I haven't seen you in a long time. I've seen you stream all the time, but it never tells me when you're streaming. It always just tells me when it's over. And I'm always like, I want to pop in and say hi. All right. I don't see any donations yet, so we will do a guessing game. I am thinking of a color. If you can guess the color that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. Where's my... I want to show you all. I'm not a huge jewelry person, but I found a lady on Instagram. Jana, you got it. It's blue. Oh, so many of you guessed blue too. Pretty, but I see Jana first. But yeah, her name's, or the brand is Terra Luna Soul on Instagram, and I really like her stuff because it's like woo-woo, but it's like high quality, and it's not like, it looks cute. Like you can wear it with a lot of outfits. And I got this. It's a mala necklace. So there's 180 beads. You can use it for meditating. But at the end, it's got a moonstone, which you can't really see too well in this light. But if you know moonstones, they reflect like this really pretty like rainbow when the light hits it just right. And there's a little moon. So yeah, and it's like good quality stuff. Like I used to get this box called the Goddess box from Goddess Provisions. And a lot of their stuff was kind of like cheap, and I didn't really like it. So yeah, I just wanted to recommend it. There's another necklace of hers that I really want to get. It's like a opal moon necklace. Anyways, Jana, let me know what your question is. And again, if you don't want to wait, I will, or feel free to donate and we can get you at the top of the list. Any messages from your spirit team? Yes. Let's do this. I got my Oracle of the Unicorns tonight. This feels very similar to what I just talked about. Okay. So Jana, I got intention. Be clear and decisive. Focus on what you really want. Be bold with your request to the universe. So whenever this card pops up, I automatically think, okay, our intentions are not clear. Maybe we're scatterbrained. Maybe we don't know what we want. Maybe we're questioning what we want. But right now, Jana, they're saying it's fuzzy. So let them know what you want. What's your intention? Be clear and be decisive. And I think a lot of the reasons why you're having a hard time setting those intentions is you are letting a lot of the fears talk and kind of take control right now. Because this says, let your fears dissolve. So sometimes when we let fear kind of take the front seat and we listen to those voices of, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't have this. It'll mess up, what we believe we can have, what that intention is that we can set. Both of these are cancers. So I also got take a breather, Jana. So this is like take a break from it as well. Like I feel like you're trying too hard with whatever this is and you're letting the fears kind of take over. Take a break. Stop thinking about it. As those fears come up, first focus on trying to like let them move through, not let them like take full control. And then really after, what? Ads will run shortly for some viewers? Huh, I've never seen that before. It's like letting me know that you guys are about to see an ad. Well, that's new. Anyways, what was I saying? I wonder how that's going to screw up lives. Anyways, okay. Intention. But yeah, after you've done that work, Jana, it's like come back, reset your intention, making sure those fears aren't doing the talking, and making sure that you've had like a good rest first. That's what Spirit wants you to know right now. Alrighty. Thank you, Jana. Okay, more games, unless somebody donates. And we are doing individual readings right now. So I also have my, what is this? Moonology Manifestation deck from Yasmin Boland. And then my newest deck is a tarot deck. And I'll show you. It's the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. And for those of you joining us live, I shared an announcement at the beginning about how live nights are changing. If you come to live nights regularly, you might want to listen to that. It is going to be pretty important moving forward. So, LOL, I just saw an ad. Okay. You're welcome, Jana. An ad just played. I'm wondering if everyone's watching ads, like, should I give it a second? I guess we'll just start. Okay, I am thinking of, that's too easy. I am thinking of, yeah, why not? Everyone's like, I just saw an ad. I am thinking of a crystal. If you can think of the crystal that I'm thinking of, you get the reading. And this will be our second one. Rose quartz, you got it. Eighth house things. Oh, and that is my member timer as well. I don't see any YouTube members in here tonight. Let's see. Who's the next? We'll see what member comments next, because I don't even see one recently. Me, Heidi. Heidi's like, I'm getting it. Okay. So I will do 8th house things. Let me know what your question is. I will answer it. And same with Heidi. I will do Heidi right after for our member winner for tonight. And then we'll have like 3 or 4 more. We'll see how I'm feeling. Just general. Anything anyone wants me to know. Okay. Eighth house things. I'm trying to figure out if this is me or you. I don't know. I feel like, you can tell me if I'm wrong, 8th house, but I feel like you do witchcraft. Or if you don't, you're like interested in it. But I'm definitely getting like an invitation to go deeper into it. Is like what's immediately like coming up. Because I feel like you're really passionate about a lot of that stuff, even if you don't know it. I'm trying to adjust it to the context. I kind of feel like you're already interested in it because I got the Page of Wands and I feel like you're being led. I feel like right now your energy is just not so much witchcraft. Okay. Why am I picking up witchcraft specifically? I'm still going to stand by it. I feel like you might actually eventually be drawn into it. Not saying you have to do anything you don't believe in, but that you can practice witchcraft and not be a witch, by the way, or believe in any of the practices. Like for example, I do manifestation candles. That doesn't automatically make you a witch, for example. But the Page of Wands, your guides in general are your guides in general. They're trying to pull you into following your spark, following the things that light you up in that realm, in the spiritual realm, in the witchy realm, spiritual development, because I feel like they're being I feel like I also pulled this card, sorry, because you have like a fox guide. Normally I don't say that when it's exactly on the cards, but that fox is sticking out to me big time. Anyways, I just feel like you're really drawn to it right now, and they're saying like follow it, go after it. Any other advice for 8th house? Thank you, Bunny Rabbit. I will get to you after. Heidi. Okay. I feel like these are all like 3 different messages that are coming through for you, 8th house. But I got the message as well of like receive, and I'm hearing this is like twofold: receiving abundance, like receiving the blessings that are coming into your life, like being aware of them, like thanking the universe for them. Like I don't know if you often like give enough credit to the universe, not saying like you have to, but there's this kind of direct correlation. Like when I get psychic messages, oh my god. When I get psychic messages, often what I do, like when I'm done, is I thank my guides for like giving them to me, and I act on them. That's a really important piece of like receiving intuitive hits. And what it does is it validates your psychic ability, but you're also saying like, hey, I trust the universe. I trust that they're giving me these things. I trust that they're real. And so I feel like this is not only accepting a lot of the things that are coming into your life, but like acting on them, thanking your guides for them, not just like counting it as like a coincidence, if that makes sense. Really trying to look more at like the magic of the abundance that's in your life right now. The second part of this is I feel like this is legitimately like receiving psychic hits. Like they're trying to talk to you. They're trying to point you in the right direction to like follow these sparks of like guidance and like get you into whatever they want to get you into. But maybe you're just not hearing them or seeing it right now, or maybe you are, but they're just trying to say, hey, we're talking to you, like pay attention. And then the last card I pulled for you, polarity. This one also feels like related to your spiritual practice. Integrate your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. And honestly, 8th house, like if you haven't heard of it before, like this to me is just doing shadow work. It's about understanding that like removing blocks, focusing on self-limiting beliefs, focusing on the things that kind of block your intuitive ability from receiving messages. Those are the important things that you can't just ignore. You have to work with them in order to develop those gifts, if that makes sense. You can't just like always focus on the good. You also have to dive into what's not working. Like, why am I not receiving intuitive hits? Why am I not getting this? And maybe it's because you have like a self-limiting belief that ghosts are going to get you or something like that. That's kind of like what I'm feeling with this polarity. It's like not shying away from the blocks. Like that's the word I want to use. The blocks that you're having spiritually. Is there anything else? No, I think your guides are kind of like, just keep going. You're on a path, and when you follow the excitement, the spark, the thing that gets you really into something, like you can grow so quickly and you just like consume so much, and it's like you can go down a rabbit hole for hours, all because you have that fire like lit under your butt, if that makes sense. And it's just a really good spot to be in. Alrighty, thank you, 8th house. All right, we're gonna do Heidi and then Bunny Rabbit. I'm a chef, so I mess around with herbal things, kitchen things. Nice. Sorry, messing up my laptop here. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. Good night, Jenna. You're welcome, 8th house. Okay, Heidi, any info on my travel manifestation? Well, if you did it over this full moon, it would have been the perfect full moon for it. I would just say that. Okay, they're telling me to pick. Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's going to go well. I feel like it's going to go well. Because I'm hearing, Heidi, that like this travel that you're trying to manifest, it was really brought about from a place of passion, excitement. I literally just pulled the same card that I pulled for eighth house. And I think that this is because you set this intention and it was from a really like passionate place of desire. And I think desire is such an important piece of manifesting. And if you don't really, really, truly want something, I think sometimes it can be hard to manifest. But I pulled the 10 of Pentacles, which to me, I've got like bugs in here. That's what I'm doing. 10 of Pentacles to me is completion, like happiness. This card specifically is about having like an abundance of like money. So I do feel like you probably are going to have the money to travel and make this happen. Yeah, I feel like that's all that card is really telling me. And then the 6 of Cups, I do feel like it's going to like expand. Like I feel like your guides aren't even like talking about what if, they're just saying like this is going to happen and here's what's next. Like it's really going to expand you emotionally. Like they're telling me that this is something that's going to work out because it's something you're supposed to have anyways. Like it's part of like your journey. I'm curious what place or what travel plans could like, are you moving permanently? Because maybe that's what it is. It's like, this is not just like, oh, I want that cute necklace. This is something that is actually going to bring you a huge benefit in life and really expand you and help you connect with others. And I think because of that, that's why you're manifesting it even more. It's just because it's so in alignment with like what you need right now. Which is awesome, because sometimes we try to manifest things that like we really don't need. Any other information on this for Heidi really quick? Freedom. Live wild and free. Choose your freedom. Claim your independence. I feel like this, again, I feel like this is more about the like path that you're on right now. And you're on a path of wanting more freedom, wanting to be able to travel. Maybe it's that you want to like work from other places, and that is like what's in the cards for you literally right now. Is anything that's in alignment with this is for you. I'll be very curious to see if you manifest it. Good luck, Heidi. Thank you for being a member. All right. Okay. Bunny Rabbit 803. What is the outlook for my new job on Monday? Anything to watch out for? What can I do to be successful? Not moving that I know of. Okay. I don't know. I still feel that energy around you. Maybe it's not like a soonish thing, but it could be that like you're making like moves in the direction of working in a way that would allow you to like travel more. Maybe not actually like traveling and moving, but it's that you have more freedom to like do the things that you want. We've got Bunny Rabbit and Silly Rabbit. Yes, is that the same person? I was wondering that. Okay, Bunny Rabbit. What is the outlook of a new job on Monday? You already have this job, right? Yeah, you do. Okay. I'm just hearing like the first day is not indicative of the rest of the week or the year. Like, don't read into Monday too terribly much. Because you're going to feel like it's slow moving and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, is this even in the direction that I want it to go? But I do think it's going to turn around. I pulled the Knight of Pentacles, and that was kind of what it was giving me, was that it was kind of slow start, and you might like it might immediately freak you out because you equate like slow with like being stuck in one place. But really, I think this is again not indicative. They're just trying to like gradually move you into this, but it has the potential to actually be very fast paced. Anything to watch out for? I'm just going to stick with the tarot. I think tarot is better for these types of questions. Watch out for being happy and having a lot of money. I swear, the energy recently in the group reading that I did at the beginning of this is so indicative. Anything you want, like I was literally asking like anything negative, and I pulled 2 kings. This to me is saying like it's going to be okay. Well, okay. I feel like I'll still stick by what I said of like King of Cups and King of Pentacles. This is being very like emotionally fulfilled, but also very financially fulfilled. But I was hearing like a caveat of maybe there is a male in like an authoritarian position that might be like trouble, but I don't really feel like that's as much of an issue. Like if anything, they're going to be somebody who intimidates you and somebody who you want to emanate and like be like, but it's not something that should get to you because this is something that you can have. You can be very emotionally happy here and very financially fulfilled. So to me, this is like not a bad thing at all. I just want to make sure any more information of that. And I got the polarity card again. This to me says like some of this might freak you out. You're going to have moments of like feeling like you can't make the money or you can't be happy. I feel like that's indicative of any job, but this is about working through those feelings and not running away from it. So working with those negative feelings and saying, oh, why do I feel this way? Oh, well, maybe it's because this guy over here is intimidating me and it's freaking me out. Or maybe it's because I don't know how to fill my own cup up right now. And because of that, I feel like Bunny Rabbit, if you missed the group reading at the beginning, that also has a lot of relevance. So maybe go back and watch that. But it's just about you might have this balance, but this is like what's guaranteed. You have the ability and the promise of being financially and emotionally stable. It's going to feel like a struggle, but you are your own obstacle. It's the self-limiting beliefs that's keeping you from sitting in this energy. I hope that makes sense. So that kind of answers a little bit of like what you can do to be successful, but let me ask that question as well. Pull a couple of cards for those. Okay, so we have, I don't think I've ever pulled this card. Relax, release control, and see the bigger picture. So that to me is such like a nice thing. It's like, okay, you don't need to worry too much. It's better if you come in more relaxed. Don't worry about trying to control things. Again, especially because I feel like that first day and first week might not be indicative of the whole. And don't feel like you need to like get in there and just like do a whole bunch from the get-go. Like you'll be told what to do. It'll be very clear. There's no need to like, I don't even know what you would try to control, but I'm asking. It's more like control your emotions or like withhold your energy, or like you're just being too analytical about like how you should interact with others. And that's the part that I think you just need to let go of. Like, don't worry about like being the most perfect version of yourself. Just relax. I feel like what is this? I'm missing something here. Hang on. They're showing me a job situation I was in. Don't people please. That's what it is. I think if you jump in, and I feel like you've done that in past jobs, and they're trying to remind you, don't let that become a norm with this one. And then seeing the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. This is literally the full moon that we had this week. That energy is affecting what's going on here. And this is a reminder about seeing the long-term vision here. What's the long-term goal here? Do I want to be a people pleaser for 5-10 years here? Probably not. I want to be happy here. I want to make a lot of money here. How do I get to that long-term goal? It'll be very easy within this first day or week to like think about all the minute little details that you need to do, but also just keep that bigger picture in the back of your mind. I'm hearing like the whole time that you go throughout this new job, because if you hold that vision, and that vision honestly being the emotional contentment as well as the financial contentment, I think you're going to move in that direction. If that's your intention, you're going to move in that direction, and that's the bigger picture that you're going to manifest. But I think if you get in your head, let those fears talk, people please, again, not work with like those emotions that are coming up, I think you are more likely to like sabotage yourself. To me, Bunny Rabbit, I just feel like this is like the only thing, again, that could get in your way is like yourself. Yeah, I feel good about that. Thank you for the donation, Bunny Rabbit. All right, I think we will do 2 more, possibly 3. Jump down here. Whoa, okay. We got Bunny Rabbit and Silly Rabbit. Oh, wait, I already read that. Hello, Michael. You're welcome, Bunny Rabbit. All right, let's do another guessing game. I am thinking of, okay. Chella Balilla. Thank you, Chella. Then we'll see. We'll ignore that. I'm going to do Chella. I'd love any insight on a small business I'd love a small business I'd love to start. Would it be wise to begin investing in right now? Any hindrances to look out for? Chella, just curious for context, do you already have an idea, or you're just like open and you just want to start something? It sounds like you already have an idea. I'll read it as if that's the case. I do have an idea. Okay, cool. I'm just going to pull one overall card for guidance, and then let's see. I'll answer your card question. Freedom. Live wild and free, choose your freedom, claim your independence. That's the first thing that's coming through, Chella. So that to me applies to any question that you're asking. So if you want to start this job, make sure it allows you freedom. Make sure that you have the freedom to work on it as you are manifesting it. And I feel like, again, with the theme of tonight, I feel like this is something that will allow you long-term freedom. That's the goal, that's the vision. And I think questioning yourself, is that what you want? I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. Then awesome, that's the intention that you're setting. Because yeah, I do feel like you want to be like your own boss. Okay, let me answer the question. Would it be wise to begin investing right now? I'm kind of hearing, I'm going to clarify the word investing. Okay. So investing emotionally might not be the direction that you want to go in. 5 of Cups. This to me is just really like, you can start it, but don't think it's going to happen overnight. But if you are moving into the direction of, this is going to be the long-term goal, this is going to be like something that takes a while to complete, I think that yes, absolutely, that should be an investment that you start right now. Earlier, what I was hearing is like, I don't know if you should start investing financially, but investing like in your time and energy other ways feels good. Like, and I'm just going to ask like how, because like, I don't know if it's something that you just like start social media, start like a following, like that's kind of what it like feels like to me. But let me just clarify with cards. I'm going to ask like, how should you start investing right now? by taking a break. I feel like I pulled that in reverse, and I feel like actually this is kind of the opposite of like just get started somewhere. Because I don't feel like taking a break is the right thing to do. I feel like that's where you've been. Investing in what way? Throwing cards tonight. I don't know. They're not giving me a very clear like focus an answer because these cards are very similar. The Seven of Pentacles, which is going to focus this camera. Well, the Seven of Pentacles, it's blurry, but essentially this is like this woman has planted a seed, a sprout. Oh, there we go. That's where it's focused right now. She's planted a tree and she's waiting for it to grow. And this is the hard process of like, are you going to focus on me? Stupid camera. I did tell my guides to give me a sign tonight that I was like making the right decision by cutting back these lives into doing like non-scheduled lives. And I'm taking this as a sign. Having technical issues and that weird like ad thing. Anyways, Bacella, this to me is saying like just start somewhere because you're going to be in the period of waiting for it to harvest. Like she's here, it's growing, but she can't harvest. It's in that in between spot of just like you're building, but you can't reap what you've sown yet. And again, with this take a breather in reverse, I'm just hearing get started somewhere. And again, maybe just not financially, maybe just, in a way of like, if you are trying to be like an entrepreneur, you could start a social media, get that going. Maybe you could start selling little things here and there. I don't think there's any wrong way to like, I don't think it's bad to start, basically. As long as you kind of, again, are under the assumption that you're not emotionally investing in it happening anytime soon and understanding that this is going to take a process. It's going to be a journey. And then I do want to answer your last question of what hindrances to look out for. Honestly, I'm hearing that there might be a lot of them, but the key is to pick yourself back up from them. Again, going back to, I think that's why I went through so many examples at my group reading was because I think so many of you are supposed to go back to that group reading. The examples of like, I talked about my friend who he would start up a business and then give it like a year and then he wouldn't see the results and he would throw it in the trash and start over from scratch. Like that's the worst thing you can do. The hindrances are like you giving up too soon and not pushing through. Definitely hearing that intuitively. Any other hindrances Chilla should look out for? Not asking for help, not asking for support. That doesn't mean you have to necessarily have a business partner, but sometimes these things take time and energy and you might need to ask people to like, I don't know, go out and have like a beer, chat somebody up, like give people your ideas and bounce them off of them. Or like, if you have a family and you're trying to get this started, asking for, someone to watch your kid every single night or something so that you can grow this for like 30 minutes every night. Like just an example. You might be one to go it alone, Shella. So really a hindrance might be that you feel like you can't ask for help. And then the other card that I got is just adventure. Dare to do things differently. I think the only other hindrance that this is giving me is like the fear of, is it going to fall apart? Am I going to not make this thing come to be? If you want to manifest what you want, it's giving me another ad notification. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. Anyways, I can skip it too. I wonder why that. Anyways. But ultimately, Chella, you might be afraid to be bold and like take action and be courageous. And that might be another hindrance. Chella, there's this book called Big Magic that I would absolutely recommend. I think that as like an entrepreneur myself has helped me so much through so many like common obstacles that come up when you owning your own business. Big Magic by I'm having a total brain fart on her name, but she's the same lady that wrote Eat, Pray, Love. So, okay, that was Chella. Thank you, Chella. I think that well and covers it. Okay. Thank you, Bunny Rabbit. Thank you. That's great advice. Good start overall. Ads are annoying. An ad played earlier. It must have been a setting that I needed to turn off. So now I know. Sorry, everyone. Oh, good. Okay, so Chella, you saw the reading examples. Cool. Sorry, everyone. Well, when I get on live next, I will figure out why the heck that's happening. Here, I'll write myself a note. It might have been, I think that it gave me a new setting and I just checked it because I didn't know what it was, but now I know. Sorry. Liz Gilbert, thank you. Okay, so I think I said one more. Let's do 2 more. 2 more and then we will call it good. Games. Lucinda's like, games. Okay, I am thinking of a number between 1 and 25. If you can guess the number that I'm thinking of, then you'll get this next reading. A number between 1 and 25. Oh, so many of you are throwing out similar numbers. You're reading each other. Nobody's gotten it yet. I'm just doing this one because I saw it today on my clock. Number between 1 and 25. How's nobody gotten it yet? I'll double check. Make sure nobody else guessed it earlier, but Michael, you got it. 22. Oh, silly rabbit. You were right after. And then Denise, you were right after. I'm showing Michael as first 22. Let me just scroll up and make sure no one else guessed 22. But Michael, go ahead and feel free to throw up your question. And we will do one more reading after this. And I think what I'll do for everyone that's still hanging around at the end, what I'll do is I'll do like a yes and no question because I'm sure you all have questions and maybe we can answer it I'll make you all like turn it into a yes or no. And that way you're walking away with at least somewhat of an answer. So we'll do that last. So we'll do Michael, we'll do one more, and then we'll do a yes and no. Woohoo! Look at this card. Look at how beautiful this is. I talked about this in I think it was our member live night where I shared the unboxing of this deck. And this is like the Temperance card. The color, she did a watercolor painting for every single one of these images. And it's like a witch's garden, like tarot of the witch's garden. Just like such beautiful images. Watercolor is tough, y'all, too. Any messages about the Scorpio? Ooh, okay. I'm assuming Scorpio is a person. It's such a pretty deck. It was one of those that I saw on Instagram and I like just immediately resonated with it and I pre-ordered it like that. It was cheap too. It was only like $32 and it comes with this massive booklet or box and this huge booklet. This booklet is also like full color too. Full color pages of each tarot card. That's like super inexpensive. Oh, I just saw on here, contains nudity. Okay. I know, it is impressive. Okay, so Michael wants any messages about the Scorpio. I'll show you the backs of them too. They're pretty close to the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot as well, like the imagery, which is very helpful when you're trying to cross from deck to deck. So that's the back. It like is the same reversed. Okay, so Michael, I pulled the Ace of Wands overall. I need a clarifier card though. Because how does this describe a person? I think I'm intuitively getting it, but I'm not trusting it. Hang on. Because I feel like what's coming through, and now my cards are not wanting to cooperate. What's coming through is this is somebody who really gets you excited, might get you motivated, like wants to create and start things, but there might not be a lot of follow through. Is that right? It kind of feels a little scatterbrained. You have to tell me if this is resonating, if I'm connecting with the right Scorpio, because there's probably a lot of Scorpios out there, even in your life. It's somebody that you have to put a lot of work into, is kind of what it feels like also. And I'll just show you. 8 of Pentacles. This one I pull quite often. Scatterbrain resonates. Because I feel like they have good ideas sometimes, and then other times it feels like you're just kind of having to like pull them along. Like it feels like very new, fresh energy, which is like good in some situations. In other situations, you're kind of like, I don't have time for this. Somebody asked what the card stock is like. It's very good. Like that's the thickness size, which I've had thicker tarot decks, but they're really flexible too. And if you ever want to know what cards I read, if you always go into my links, pretty flexible. Mine are just not used very much yet. But I do have links that take you to my Amazon page, and I have links to all the decks that I own. Anyways, any other messages for Michael dealing with this person? Take a reality check. I feel like this is like being honest with yourself of like, I feel like you hope for a lot from this person and they often can't deliver. So taking a reality check of like, where are my hopes and expectations and what's actually like doable? And then again, I got the card Make Time for Self-Love. This to me is definitely like pulling back the energy and saying like, what is it that I'm wanting from this person and how can I fill up my cup in my own way? Because I'm not sure if they're going to get it from you or you're going to get it from them. Sorry. And then I have practice gratitude. This is like, understand that they're the person that they are and that might be all that you're going to get. And you had, is that still somebody I want to have a relationship with? And I kind of feel like the answer to that is yes. So it's just being thankful for the part that they play in your life. I think that what this says to me is just like shift your expectations around them because they're not meeting them and they're not going to. I just want to pull one more card. Any other advice for Michael on this? Ask for help, get more rest, nurture yourself. So if you have the ability to talk to this person about these things, it might be that you bring it up and you say, hey, I need help. Like, these are the expectations that I thought we set, blah, blah, blah. Get more rest and nurture yourself. Again, mirroring that make time for self-love. Focus on what you think it is that you're lacking from this person and ask, how can you give that to yourself? You're welcome, Michael. Thank you for being here. Alrighty. Okay, so that was Michael. Let's do one more guessing game, and then we will do a yes and no question for everybody at the end. Hello, Jess. Welcome. Okay. So I am thinking of, I'm going to just do a color again. I'm thinking of a color. If you can guess the color that I'm thinking of, then you get the reading. that's probably really loud. I need like a Jeopardy soundtrack that I can push a button and play it. Blue, Adrian, you got it. I realized after I thought about the color that it was the same color I thought about last time, but oh well. Trick psychic question. Adrian. Okay, I will do one question for Adrian, and then if you want to stick around, if you have a really pressing question, I will do kind of like a group yes or no. So you can think about that question now and figure out a way that you can turn it into a yes and no, and maybe you can get some clarity before we like wrap up. Yay! First time. General reading for Adrian. Okay. Adrian's guides. What do you want me to use? I think they want me to use this one. Okay, Adrian, I'm hearing like loud and clear, like it's okay that you messed up. Like it's okay if you got off track. Like I feel like things were going really well and then there was like a hiccup and you're like beating yourself up over it. Am I right? But they're just like saying like, it's okay. You do not have to be perfect like along the manifestation process. It's like kind of what's coming through again, like sort of similar to the group reading, but what they want to talk about is your like emotional contentment, King of Cups. This is what you want to manifest. This is like where you're headed, and they're trying to remind you that like you're still on this path. Like maybe you're questioning if you're doing it right, maybe you're not seeing the results. Again, like the patience part of that first group reading, that card that I pulled like is sticking out to me for you, Adrian. And this is saying that like it's okay. You haven't like screwed it up. You're still on that path. It's because you've set such a clear intention of how you want to feel. And like I will say for anyone that wants to like listen to this information, when you manifest something, it is so much you manifest the feeling that it gives you versus the thing that it is you want. For example, I want $10,000 a month or something like that. Manifesting $10,000 a month versus manifesting the feeling, the visualization that $10,000 a month is going to give you, you can step into that energy a lot easier than just being like, I want this physical thing. Versus I want the feelings of like what $10,000 would bring me every single month. And so just a great like little manifesting tip there is anytime you're trying to manifest something, try to focus on not like, I want the diamond ring, I want the car, I want the house. It's what will that thing provide you? What is that feeling? And how can I sit in that energy, visualize that energy, you know, and hold it in my like being. And that is way more likely to attract that thing for you. But going back to you, Adrian, you're doing this. And so that's why they're wanting to say, like, you're not screwing it up. We hear you. We get it. Like the emotions behind it, I'm hearing like you said no more to something. And you're not going to go back to that. I feel like I've given you this reading before, Adrian. I don't know if I have. Why does it feel familiar? I feel like there's a message in that. And I feel like it's because you've heard it before. Maybe not for me. I don't know. But again, there's like a big message here of like, you didn't screw it up. Just keep going. Anything else Adrian needs to know? Yes, breathe through the tension. It might be a little stressful right now. Take a breather. Your guys are just telling you it's okay. Like you can still manifest when things are stressful. Like I feel like that's the main thing you need to hear. Like you can be depressed and manifest. You can have a hiccup and still manifest. You can still manifest when you're feeling sick and not feeling good. And then take a reality check. I kind of feel like this is a positive one, Adrian, of like your guide saying like, look how much has manifested for you, and understand that like you're doing the work. Like, take note of all the evidence. You're like ignoring all the hard work that you've put into it and all the good things that have come out of it so far. Like, take a reality check in the direction of like, okay, no, I have manifested a lot. I know my guides are here. I know they're listening. I needed to remind myself of that and not kind of let the like anxieties take over. And then I just saw a turtle for you, Adrian. I feel like a turtle has something to do with like this animal guide is here to kind of represent the situation in your life. So if you see like turtles moving forward, they might be trying to get your attention on this topic, like whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. The turtle comes in to remind you to take a break, to relax, that like you are going the right direction. I feel like that's what a turtle might mean for you. Awesome. Thank you, Adrian. Hello, Linda. How long does it take for manifestations to come in? Or is it all on its own timelines? Basically, yes, all on its own timelines, which is not the answer we ever want. Wouldn't it be so nice to know it took exactly this amount of time? But that's why I always say use your intuition, because if you have your intuition, you can basically shorten that time, or you can get guidance on what the obstacles are so that you know how to get there quicker. Your intuition is your own internal compass so that you can manifest the life that you want. Alrighty, so that was our last individual reading. Sorry for the folks that just jumped in, but we are going to do a yes or no question to end this off. So you don't have to throw up your question in the chat unless you want to, but if there's something that's been pressing on you, if you have a question and you really want to know the answer, try to turn it into a yes or no question, because I am going to try to answer it yes or no. So think of your question right now. Think of it. And I am going to do kind of like a pick a card style is I think what I'll do. But think of the question first. This is kind of how we will end the night. I'm setting the intention that this is going to be the outcome. And it's going to be very clear, yes or no. Okay, we're going to do 4 piles. Okay. Once you've thought of your question, I want you to connect to the energy of this reading and ask your guides, which pile will answer my question? Pile 1, 2, 3, or 4? If you aren't sure, you can listen to them all and decide what resonates after. Pile 1, 2, 3, or 4 will be the answer to your question. My son is out here screaming. Sorry if you can hear it. Hello, Laura. Glad you found me. How long does it take to develop your psychic abilities? You know, that's the second time someone's asked me that in the last week. Someone else asked me, like, how long did it take before, like, all of the hits started becoming, like, more accurate? And I would say it took me, like, half a year to really, like, get the hang of things. But I wouldn't say I was a really, like, I mean, I feel like I've just gradually become a better psychic, but I feel like if you're doing consistent work, it could take 6 months, it could take a year. It depends on how much you practice. That's what it all comes down to. And the thing was, is I was practicing every weekend, every week, for about a year, because that's what I was doing. I was taking the Aspen program, and I had to go in basically every weekend for a class. And then I was doing homework in between. And so I would say, like, if you're doing fast track and you're crazy about it, it could take as little as 6 months. It could even take like faster. It's so variable depending on so many things. But if you like only practice once a month, it could take you like 5 years. So sorry that doesn't answer your question, but if you practice, you're going to see it increase, and just keep increasing it until you feel like it's really working out for you. Okay, so we are doing kind of a last reading for everyone, asking a yes or no question. After you've asked that question, connect to the piles, pile 1, 2, 3, 4, and I am going to jump into those and read them. Love your tattoo. What does it say? It has blurred over the years. The love for all living creatures is the most noble attribute of man. It's a Charles Darwin quote. And it's one of 2 tattoos that I have. Okay. Okay, pile number 1, huge effing yes. Huge yes, because this is the 4 of Wands, which is all about celebration and success. Like, that's literally this card. So not only is it going to work out, it's going to be yes and like a big yes. And I pulled 1 additional card for each of these piles as like, okay, then what's the advice here? Pile number 1 for you, it's step up and lead. So take a leadership role, move forward on this. Don't wait for somebody else to like make this happen. Curious if anyone picked pile number 1. Pile number 2. Okay. Hang on. Pile number 2 is like a maybe. It's like a no but. Because I pulled the King of Cups in reverse, and I set the intention if it was reversed, it's kind of a no. But I'm hearing it like, because it's the King, this is a no but. And the reason is like you need to recheck like why you're emotionally attached to it, and if it's something you truly, truly want. It's about going back and focusing on the emotion, why you're trying to manifest this thing. Because I have also, again, see the bigger picture. I'm hearing, again, go back to the group reading to answer this question again if you need to. But this is, we've lost sight of whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Maybe, I feel like overall this is trying to say, like, maybe you're wanting it for the wrong reasons. That doesn't like make you a bad person, or it doesn't like make the situation necessarily negative. You know, it could be a very positive shift of like, you know what? Yes, I do want that thing, and I thought I wanted it for this reason, but I actually was feeling kind of greedy about getting the money. And it's almost like I'm hearing that the acceptance of this, the acceptance of your emotions, taking like a claim to it and being honest with yourself is enough to possibly still make this happen. Because seeing the bigger picture, I think, is what is going to help manifest it. And so asking yourself long term, is this something that I really want? Is it something that is serving me? I just feel like there's pile number 2, reevaluation that needs to be done. So it's kind of like a no, but possibly a maybe. Okay, pile number 3. I'm hearing that's a no because you have to work for it. This is not going to be something that just falls into your lap. I have the Ace of Wands in reverse. But I'm hearing it, again, it's like a but. And it's not going to fall into your lap. Pile number 3. Pile number 3, you have to do the work to manifest this thing that you want. It's not going to work as is, if that makes sense. And then I have practice gratitude. So pile number 3 is also a similar message of like shift your energy, shift your focus, being grateful for what you have, maybe focusing on the steps that are needed to get you from this place to that place. But right now, it's like the timeline is not immediate. It's something that you're going to have to work for, which I feel like is kind of a bummer, but this is something where it's like more work needs to be done. Pile number 4. Okay. Pile number 1 was the pile to get. Pile number 4 is also a no. I don't know. I still feel like these are like no buts though, because I got 2 of Cups in reverse, and I feel like this is like a no because like the people around you are not working. Like the relationships, the boundaries that are being set is kind of like a no. Is that right? I don't know. I feel like number 4 is a little bit more variable. Because I'm hearing if you feel like the relationships are really good in this situation, this just might be that, I'm trying to hit too many people in this last reading. But I feel like there's an issue or something that needs to be paid attention to with the relationships. Like that's a big hindrance. There's not like a balance there. But it's interesting because the advice card is believe in your good luck. And this one I feel really positive about. This one to me is saying like it is going to manifest, like believe that it is going to work out. I don't know. Like I'm hearing that part of this is the questions that were asked for this pile are kind of wonky. And I should have instructed how to do that. But I feel like this one is it's kind of like you're going to find out on the back end. If it works out, it works out. But if it doesn't work out, it's probably because someone around you or a relationship that you have is kind of hindering you from getting this. I hope that makes sense. Hopefully that brought more clarity. Sorry if it just made you more confused. I feel like sometimes that's how yes and no questions are. Awesome. I think that's it, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me put these away and kind of wrap up my spiel here tonight. Again, live nights are going to be changing moving forward. If you missed that announcement and you are really eager for more lives, make sure to listen to that, especially because we are going to move a lot of those over to Patreon. You're welcome. So we have a new video coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend. And that video is going to be about how to be more confident in your psychic abilities. And then we're going to have another pick a card. One of my goals is to get back to doing, weekly uploads if I can do it. I'm not going to hold myself to it. But I really, now that I'm done with my course, I really want to just jump back into making more videos. And one thing I always want to do, I want to do more pick a card videos. I want to do more readings that are pick a card style. So even though my live nights might be lessened, I'm hoping that you're still going to get readings from me through these pick a cards because I genuinely enjoy doing them. I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I've realized over many years of being on YouTube that if I don't do what I love, then I'm going to burn myself out. And I just really love doing pick a card videos. So make sure to keep up with me on Facebook. We also have a Facebook psychic development group. I'm also on Instagram. You can sign up for my newsletter to know about upcoming dates. Lots of updates. Anything that's super important goes out on my newsletter. I do have a podcast. I haven't uploaded anything in a minute, but I want to. Again, now that I have more time, really excited to get back to that, as well as private readings. I am always available for private readings. You can book those anytime on my website, as well as coaching sessions. And then Patreon. Patreon exists. We have early access to videos. We have Q&A videos for psychic development. We have live nights. We have psychic development game nights. And we have monthly group readings. So that is it, y'all. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. And just know you can always catch up with me and know when I'm going to be live if you're following me on Instagram. And I will put it up on the website as soon as I know. So thank you so much. Have a good night. I will see you next time. Alrighty. Bye.